So, Minecraft Live just finished airing, and, yeah, let's talk about that. So if you've been paying attention to the Minecraft community as of late, they've kind of come together to say no more, specifically to the now annual mob vote that is hosted each year, where the community has shown 3 really cool looking mobs only to have 2 of them ripped away from us at the last second and cast into the Shadow Realm. This is a problem. Lots of work likely goes into these little animations and coming up with the ideas, only for it to be wasted. And worse, it's like showing the community something really cool that we can't have. It's less about voting for the 1 mob you want and more about voting for the 2 mobs you don't. But where did this mob vote begin? Well, going back to the origins in 2017, we got our first mob vote. This one was a little different though. Rather than a fully produced display showing off all the cool mobs, we only got some rough sketches and some concepts for what they could do. 4 distinct mobs, but clearly not much work had gone into them yet. So it wouldn't feel like that much of a waste if 3 of them didn't make it in, although it would still be sad. It certainly still stung that we had to lose 3 of them, but not as much as it might have if, say, they had all been promised alongside really cool one-time features that could revolutionize elements of the game. But surely they'd never do that, right? Well, you're right, because technically these don't revolutionize shit. Fucking dog armor? What am I supposed to do with that? Sorry. Well, next up, we got the biome votes in 2018 and 2019 respectively. These also offered a primary mob as a focus alongside a whole host of other cool junk. Now, this would absolutely suck to miss out on if it weren't for the fact that they confirmed each of these biomes would receive this update at some point or another. The vote simply decided the order, so even if we lose, we still get all the content. That's great. A wonderful way to keep the community engaged while still providing new content and with little disappointment. Now, did they keep this up? Well, no. Okay. Now, I do get switching from biome votes to smaller scale mob votes. Adding in all these unique features was clearly more than they were expecting, as we're still feeling the trickle down of some of these biome votes 5 years later. But that wasn't the only change they made. They also got rid of the guarantee that the losers would actually make it in. This means we are returning to the 2017 style of only the winner gets in, and we actually got in-depth videos and animations for each mob, making it sting even more if one lost. This year we had 3 mobs, the formula we still see to this day. The Isolager, the WILLJEUM, and the one that clearly isn't meant to win. It's just a fun joke, and the devs clearly knew this, as its video was the least in-depth, and itself was treated as more of a joke towards the fact that the squid was already seen as the useless but funny mob. So, of course, when a famous Minecraft YouTuber, who shall not be named, decided to tell his millions of fans to vote for the glow squid because it would not affect his speedruns like the leading choice at the time might, it caused some controversy. The YouTuber in question even started to bribe his fans by saying he would follow them personally on social media if they could prove they had voted for the squid. So eventually, shocker, the squid ended up winning. Well, I hope it was worth it for your speedruns, bud. This was the first vote where people started to feel really irked. Now, Mojang would make an attempt to limit the rigging of this vote in future years, moving it from Twitter to the Minecraft launcher, so only people who actually own the game could vote. On top of this, the YouTuber at least agreed not to rig the vote anymore going forward. But this didn't fix the core issue, which is that we, as an audience, were being forced to choose between options that the modding community could just whip up within hours of the actual mob announcements. This continued through the next 2 mob votes, largely unchanged until we get to this year. At this point, people were pretty sick of the vote. And so they decided, nah, we're not okay with this. This led to not only a whole boycott of the mob vote, with hashtag StopTheMobVote trending not only on Twitter in the days leading up to the Minecraft Live event, where the votes would get counted, but also in the live chat of that same stream. In the stream, they actually do make reference to this, saying,
"The penguin." But don't feel too bad for the penguin. Remember, our little frog friends didn't win the vote either, but they still managed to hop their way into the game.
But what Vu fails to mention here, though, is that the frog was part of the biome vote, not a mob vote, so he was guaranteed eventually anyway. Although the notion that past mob vote losers could still have a chance is somewhat comforting, I guess. But this brings us to the heart of the issue. Is Mojang doing enough? Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time, owned by Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world, period. So, why are we forced to choose only one measly mob? Maybe it's because the actual updates are so big they only have time for one on top of everything else. But this isn't true either. The most recent update, which was said to be a bigger focus than normal due to it being the big 15th anniversary of Minecraft, has introduced one new mob. I mean, it's cool, but, you know, just one new dungeon with no unique loot, making it largely pointless to explore, as well as no boss or anything, so again, why would I come here? And a new set of blocks that appear identical to the last 3 brick sets we received. Oh boy, more gray blocks, just what I wanted. Awesome, thank you, Mojang, love that. An automatic crafting table that I'm sure will offer some in-depth gameplay once Redstoners get their hand on it, but as it stands right now, it kind of just looks like a dispenser with extra steps. As it stands, we know this isn't everything for 1.21. I mean, we don't even have a name yet. But with the community where it's at after the failed promises and lackluster content, they really needed to come out swinging here with something big. A big end update or a new dimension through the deep dark portal. But instead we get tough bricks. Cool. Look, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I cannot understand why it is taking them so long to release so little. Minecraft is perhaps my favorite game of all time, but clearly something is up. Whether it's because the dev team is split too thin across all the spin-off games that no one really asked for, or whether they have too many restrictions from having to appeal to every device from mobile to PC, we aren't getting the content that the game needs. People are starting to call the devs lazy, and I hate to say it, but I'm struggling to find excuses to defend them. Like, I don't want to call them lazy, I'm sure they do work, but on what? I mean, even if they were just a bit more transparent about what was going on, I'd be able to understand. But as it stands, it seems they're focusing way too much on content people don't care about. Big blowout animations for a live event people only watch for the announcements. Whole new spin-off games that, while cool, often feel like they're just taking away from development time that could be spent on the main game. And a big focus on the Bedrock marketplace where all the microtransactions fester away. But Minecraft is not living up to its legacy. Even going back a few years, the Nether update felt huge and game-changing. The Nether update was also released over 4 years ago. Dear God. Minecraft needs to change. It needs something big, or else I'm not sure so many people will stick around. It's already on a downward trend after its recent big boom over the pandemic, and the way things are going, it looks like we're in for another set of mediocre updates that will lead to another dark age. Which is sad. I love this game with all my heart, and I really want to see it do good on its own merits, but there's too much holding it back right now, and we don't even know what that is. Did you know the bundle is complete and in the game files? Yeah, you can get it through commands. The only reason we don't have it yet in Java is because Bedrock doesn't have it, and the only reason Bedrock doesn't have it is because they can't get it to work on the mobile version. So because something won't run on your mom's old iPhone, we can't get it in the distinctly standalone PC version of the game? I want to stay positive, but it's getting harder and harder. So all I can hope for now is that whenever Hytale finally comes out, it can scratch that itch for some new exciting Minecraft content that, Minecraft itself has failed to do in recent years. Just like how I can also hope you'll consider subscribing to see more, and maybe leaving a like as well, mayhaps. Also, let me know down below what the dream Minecraft update would be for you. Go crazy, go big! Because right now, I think that's what we all need.